So Aries on the screen now, your week commencing the 18th of March chart, and you'll see that as the sun moves into your sign on Wednesday, it will be joining up with Mercury, the North Node, and Chiron in your sign. But most of all, the knowledge that this is the beginning on Wednesday of the new astrological year is particularly significant for you. I feel that you're going to start this week potentially feeling very, very tender. But equally, you could find your imagination is absolutely glorious. If you are someone who's very artistic or musical, or you love healing, or you love to receive therapeutic treatments, the start of this week is a fine time to embrace those. But just be aware, with Gemini in that square, there could be someone that, for all the goodwill in the world, may in some ways not necessarily keep a confidence that you share with them. So if there is someone that tends to be a bit loose with what they say or tends to exaggerate, that's the type of person you just need to be mindful of as this week begins. But the sun moving into your sign, it's going to be like a furnace, and it's going to be a furnace that you're going to appreciate. But Aries, it's very important for me to be truthful with you, because I do feel there is a tendency amongst YouTube astrologers to provide very simple messages which don't take into account the overall astrological influences, and therefore people get disappointed that life isn't necessarily going to suddenly redeem itself in some kind of perfect way. But I feel that the sun moving into your sign and joining with Mercury, the node, and Chiron certainly gives you a glorious chance to get on the front foot. And that link with Pluto is really asking you a big question. Where do you see your long-term future going? Because if you've been questioning that, particularly since Pluto moved into Aquarius on the 21st of January, or even for the 11 weeks last year, if you can really probe that particular theme very carefully, this will help you to use this energy in a very constructive way. Because sometimes we can set goals and ambitions. I've experienced this many times, and I'm sure you have as well, where we get there, we get to that, achieving that qualification, or we get that job or that material possession, but actually as we achieve that, it's not the thing that's really driving and inspiring us as much as it used to be. And that's because we've shifted in our relationship to our circumstances, but also we've shifted within ourselves. So if you have been rethinking some things recently, it really wouldn't be a surprise, because there's been such a lot of psychological energy around your situation. And the fact that Venus is going to be applying to Saturn suggests that if a relationship, whether it's with a friend, a colleague, or more personally, isn't feeling like it's the right one for your long term, what Pluto and the Sun are saying is have the confidence to really go for what's right for you, even if it does mean that you have to separate yourself from something. Could even be a job that isn't really feeding and inspiring you in the way that's so important for an Aries person. So I think it is going to be important this week to be conscious of the more psychological, spiritual, and even philosophical sides of your situation. Yes, if you're very clear on what you want to achieve in your life, you can use these more tender energies just to sharpen up your antenna to guide you in terms of your decision making. But if you do feel quite bogged down with grief, sadness, uncertainty, even anxiety, I feel the sun moving into your sign is going to give you a big shot of extra confidence, but it is asking you with Pluto to think about really sharpening up that long-term plan. And because your ruler Mars moves out of the sector of friendship on Friday and dives deep for the following weeks through to the end of April, there is still some stuff that you may need to work through. But in terms of your finances, that is undoubtedly a glorious opportunity for you as Venus and Jupiter link so productively at the end of this week. And it may be that you're going to hear some good news quite unexpectedly. Someone may get in touch who you're not expecting to, who may let you know just how much they've appreciated your dedication, your application over a long period of time, and some kind of prize could come your way as the week draws to a close. But I think this is a week when you could find yourself partially in the present, but also a good part of you can be very much in the more psychological and spiritual dimension too. And that's absolutely fine as long as you can accept it. But just be wary about who you're chatting to this week. And in general, I think social media and world news could actually affect you in a more negative way than is usually the case as this week begins. Thank you so much for joining me, Aries. Why not check out your in-depth monthly forecast for March? Please see the link beneath this video to view that.